My landlord tried to illegally evict me, so I bought his building and evicted him instead. It started when Marcus raised my rent 40% with 2 weeks' notice. I'd been renting the same studio apartment for 3 years, always paid on time, never caused problems. The building was a dump, peeling paint, broken elevator, heat that worked maybe half the winter, but it was affordable at $800 a month, and I was saving every penny for my master's degree in social work. Market rates, Marcus said when I called to protest. His voice had that smugness of someone who'd had this conversation 100 times before. In the background, I could hear a TV blaring some talk show, and what sounded like a woman crying. "I can't afford $1,120, I said, and 2 weeks isn't legal notice. Marcus laughed, a harsh sound that made my skin crawl. Legal notice? Kid, this is my building. I can do whatever I want. You don't like it, there's the door. Good luck finding another place you can afford in this neighborhood. I researched tenant laws all night, printing statutes and highlighting violations. Rent increases required 30 days notice and couldn't exceed 25% annually in our city. What Marcus was doing was completely illegal. At 8 a.m., I knocked on his penthouse door, the only unit he'd actually maintained. Through the doorway, I could see granite countertops and hardwood floors that gleamed. His coffee mug said, "World's best landlord" in Comic Sans font. He barely glanced at my legal documents. "Sue me," he laughed. "You think some broke college kid can afford a lawyer? I've been doing this for 20 years. Half my tenants don't even speak English well enough to fight back." He leaned against his doorframe, sizing me up like a predator evaluating prey. "Besides, maybe try the suburbs. I hear there's a lovely trailer park about an hour away." That's when I realized this wasn't just about me. I started talking to other tenants. Mrs. Chen, an elderly woman on the second floor, showed me notices demanding she pay $800 in cleaning fees or face eviction. Her English was limited, but her fear was universal. She'd been living there for 8 years, never missed a payment. The Ramirez family had been charged $1,200 for excessive utilities when their toddler got sick, and they ran a humidifier for 2 weeks. They couldn't afford the fee, so Marcus had filed eviction papers. "He says we use too much electricity," Maria Ramirez explained, bouncing her feverish daughter. "But the baby, she needs the machine to breathe properly." I knocked on every door in the building. 24 units, 18 different horror stories. Marcus was systematically targeting vulnerable tenants, gambling they wouldn't know their rights or couldn't afford to fight back. The pattern was always the same: impossible demands, illegal fees, threats made to tenants who barely understood their rights. Anyone who pushed back got evicted for lease violations that didn't exist. The breaking point came on a Tuesday morning when I saw Marcus screaming at Mrs. Chen in the hallway, demanding she sign papers she couldn't read. "Just sign here, Grandma," he said, shoving a pen at her shaking hands. "Makes everything easier. No lawyers, no courts, no trouble for anybody." Mrs. Chen was crying, repeating, I pay rent," in broken English. I stepped between them. "Those are eviction papers," I told her in the little Mandarin I'd learned from a college roommate. "Don't sign anything." Marcus's face turned red. Up close, I could smell alcohol on his breath at 10 a.m. "Mind your own business or you're next." "Actually, this is my business," I said. "I live here, and what you're doing is illegal." He grabbed my arm, hard enough to leave fingerprint bruises. "You think you're smart? I'll have you out by Friday. Drug possession, noise complaints, property damage. I'll make up whatever I need to." That night, I called my grandfather. Pop had been a contractor for 40 years before retiring wealthy. He'd built half the subdivisions in our county, invested wisely, and taught me how predators operate. "How much would it cost to buy Marcus's building?" I asked. Pop was quiet for a long moment. In the background, I could hear him clicking around on his computer. "Why?" I explained everything. The illegal evictions, the fake charges, how Marcus targeted people who couldn't fight back, how he'd threatened to frame me for drug possession. "Send me the property records," Pop said. "Let's see what we're working with." 2 days later, Pop called back with information that changed everything. I couldn't fit what happens next in this short video. Watch the rest down below.